Hello, loves. Speaker Johnson denies request for civil rights leader Reverend Jessie Jackson to lie in the Capitol. Let's talk about it. Reverend Jessie Jackson passed away earlier this week at the age of 84. Jackson's family made a request to Speaker Johnson for Reverend Jessie Jackson to lie in honor at the U.S. Capitol. The request was based on precedent of high-profile figures who have lied in honor in the U.S. Capitol. Johnson denied that request, and a source close says that Charlie Kirk was also denied, as well as Dick Cheney, and this is not political. The excuse given is that the general practice is for military officials and select government officials to lie in honor. However, civilians or non-government have lain in honor in the U.S. Capitol, such as Rosa Parks in 2005 and Reverend Billy Graham in 2018. 47 has even said multiple times this week that Reverend Jessie Jackson was a good man. Reverend Jessie Jackson walked side by side with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the fight for civil rights. Reverend Jackson was there when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was unalived. Reverend Jackson was admired and praised by both Republicans and Democrats alike. His decades of work in activism, politics, and international affairs. The source said the decision to deny the request was to keep up with precedent and not to deny because of any political reasons. Lying in honor in the rotunda in the U.S. Capitol allows the public to come and pay their final respects. Jackson's family said that he will lie reposed at the Rainbow Push headquarters in Chicago, which is Reverend Jessie Jackson's nonprofit organization, which he founded and led for civil rights activists and social justice work. He will have two formal services, one in his home state of South Carolina and the other in Washington, D.C. Reverend Jackson was a passionate orator whose work helped shape the Democratic Party and America. He had two bids for the presidential nomination, which inspired blacks and attracted white voters. He was a prolific negotiator. His diplomatic ways were successful negotiation with Cuba's president, who was a dictator, Fidel Castro. He was responsible for securing the release of several hundred hostages, which included servicemen and airmen from countries that they were held in, such as Cuba, Iraq, Syria, Kosovo, Gambia, Liberia. 100 men escaped foreign detention and captivity thanks to Reverend Jessie Jackson. President Clinton awarded Reverend Jessie Jackson the Medal of Freedom in 2000. Reverend Jackson had a positive, influential saying, "I am somebody." Do you think Reverend Jackson should have been allowed to lay in honor at the U.S. Capitol due to his work in diplomacy, American politics, and civil rights? Share your thoughts. Let me know.